Hello, this is SaltyCamo, and today I'll be reviewing the Tier 5 light tank, the ELC. The ELC AMX has an impressive acceleration with a very good top speed of 65. The ELC sports a 90mm gun with very good penetration and 240 damage. However, it should be noted the accuracy on this tank is very bad and needs a lot of time to aim. However, the accuracy when fully aimed is very good. The low silhouette of the ELC AMX means that it can side hug higher tier heavy tanks and stay underneath their gun depression, meaning that it can actually abuse the enemy tank to use it as a weapon against itself, which is quite neat. The main bonus or high point of the ELC AMX is its amazing camouflage value. If you put 100% camo on this tank, then you cut enemies' view range up to 40%. So if you've got a Pershing with 400 meters view range, it will only actually have 240 effective view range. This does mean that you can sit on fields like Prokhorovka or Malinovka and not be spotted while keeping the enemies all spotted, which is pretty neat. The ELC also has a very low fall damage because it's only 2 tons, so you can make some crazy jumps and take no damage occasionally. It also makes a lot of credits. The ELC is my main grinding tank for credits. The ELC also loses very little speed on turning, which is really useful, especially for a light tank. Also, the APCR ammunition of this tank is very good, equivalent to some tier 10 guns. Another pro is that this tank can use the hilly terrain to its advantage due to the size of the tank being very small, meaning the smallest undulations can be used for hiding behind. However, the cons of this tank are that the shells are very expensive for a tier 5 and it has seriously bad aim time on the top gun of 2.9 seconds, as well as you're moving a lot in a light tank, it means you'll have to aim extra after stopping. The extremely limited turret rotation, this tank cannot turn its turret all the way around. It can be extremely frustrating in brawling situations. It should be noted when you're playing the ELC that you do not have DPM to one-on-one enemy tanks. The tank doing 240 damage every 12 seconds, it's very lackluster. You will occasionally wish that you could reload much faster. Another more annoying disadvantage to this tank is the poor view range and signal range. Occasionally you can't see tanks on the other side of the map, and when you're trying to spot the enemy, 360 view range can be really annoying. You have to get quite close up to tanks, and if they've got camouflage and sitting behind if they're sitting behind bushes, then you'll have to get up very close to them, maybe even 50 meters. The ELC has a very low weight. This can be really annoying in ramming situations where your enemy will take 0 damage even though you might lose half your health or more. Additionally, the lack of armor, it makes this tank really vulnerable to HE shells. If someone decides to load HE, they can potentially one-shot you in tier 5, 6, or you do get into tier 8 games. The poor gun elevation and depression is really annoying. While the ELC isn't normally firing down from hills or shooting up, you can get into situations where you really want to go over a hill, shoot down and come back down, but because of the poor gun depression, when you go over the hill you have to expose quite a lot of your tank. So on this game I've made my way into the middle of Malinovka, and I'm planning to do some spotting and maybe get some damage. So I've waited till the Luch that was out there died, and then I could move up. This spot is very strong now for light tanks that are small and can pop over and do damage, so my plan here is to use this hill as cover so I can pop up, get 240 damage into the side of a KV-1S, and then after I've done that, pop back down till I go off their radar, and then just repeat it over and over until they move out or die. I should note that on the ELC I use vents, optics and a gun lane drive. This is just so that I've got maximum view range that I can get while on the move with the combination of optics and vents, and then using the gun lane drive to make the aim time, which is quite horrendous, much more bearable. The use of a camo net I don't see as it's not particularly useful when you have so much good camo anyway, and in the ELC without the turret it's quite hard to make full use of a camo net anyway. So I decided to pop over since there's nothing on my right side anymore, and I see a tiger, and I'll just take that shot for it's kind of giving me his side for free. And there was nothing stopping me, and this bush in front of me was covering up the shot, therefore my camo stays very high. This spot does seem to cause the enemy a lot of aggression, and they obviously want to get me out of here, so I'm just backing and staying behind this hill. Even in the open here you can see that the camo on the ELC is just so good that I'm not spotted from the cap on their side. I was just about to fire a Nintendo's turret, but it's just so annoying. If he had only stayed focused on that guy for one more second, that would have been a shot. But anyway. Here the SU-122-44 can't even see me from there, so I'm just going to take a shot on him. So when you're in your ELCs, this is what you want to be doing. Spotting in the middle of the map. Spots when you can't be seen necessarily, and you've also got somewhere to back into and stay safe if they do turn their guns onto you and try and shoot you. Here I've actually backed up onto the opposite hill, and I'm using the gun elevation to do a peekaboo type tactic and shoot into the KV-1S and the 122-44 there, so that's quite a nice tip. So to reiterate, you really do need to, when you're in your ELC, be shooting into the sides of the tanks, not necessarily in their sides, but you want to be in a place where you're distracting them from your allies in front of them. And this spot in Malanovka I found really works. You can go into the middle, and the bush is in the middle, but then if you start firing then you're automatically spotted, and sometimes tanks don't always stay up in the opposite ridge line near their cap. So I found that going into the very middle of the map works better. Also, if you notice, that was a KV-1S that slammed a shell into the side of me, but luckily it hit the tracks, which happens a lot in the ELC because the tracks cover up the whole side of both the hull, and there's also spaced armor on the side of the ELC. You might not know, but if someone fires heat or HE into the side of an ELC, sometimes you can get away with 0 damage shots, which is also quite hilarious. Towards the end of the game in an ELC, you want to be careful what you're doing. It's one of the most crucial parts of the game, even though sometimes it appears that nothing's happening. So here, looking around, there's quite a few tanks around me, and I can't get shots on some of them, so keeping them spotted is important for our team, and knowing when to go and rush towards to finish off some tanks in style, one-on-one close-ups, especially when they have low health at the end of the game. It's important. In this game I know it's time to go out and attack as soon as all the enemies are retreating back to their base. It's at this point here I realise that if I want to get any more damage I need to move up, so when you're in your games I recommend assessing the situation, and if you can't get any shots and there's no point in you being in the spot you're in, where I am for example spotting, then you kind of need to move up, maybe start supporting your guys, especially at the end of the game when it can be the decider who gets the most damage on another target, especially 1v1 or 2v2. And that was a bit of a twist at the ending. Okay. Thank you very much, IS. So guys, thank you for watching my video, and I hope to put up some more soon. Tell me in the comments what you think of it, like, dislike, whatever. Thank you for watching. I'm SaltyCamo, and I'll see you soon.